Good morning, everyone. Happy Supercharged Manifesting Monday. Good morning. Good morning. It's the start of another week. Give me one quick second, get myself situated here. It's the start of another week, and we're coming out of 5 days of all kinds of incredibleness. We had the 5 day Wealth with Ease attraction last week. That was so much fun. I took yesterday and just did some husa recouping. Um, because that was a lot of just being in high energy, and it's like it's amazing for 5 6 days, and then you have to like come down a little bit. So this morning I am really excited to kickstart this brand new week with you, and I can't wait to see those of you that are joining live. Good morning, happy morning, happy money manifesting Monday, happy supercharged manifesting Monday. This is going to be a great week. Are you a yes? This is going to be an incredible week of just all kinds of beautiful things happening for all of us. I'm really excited because today we're going to have a conversation about asking. And one of the things that magically happens every time we go through a 5 day. Here you all are. Yay! It like took a while on Facebook for it to load. It took a while for me to see everyone, but there they all are. And Instagram, I see that you all are watching too. So one of the things that happens every time we go through this 5 day high energy experience, and this time our conversations were all around wealth and experiencing and creating wealth with ease. And one of the things that invariably happens, and I'm telling you, I'm at the point where, it's like I just kind of have this knowing that I'm going to have to talk about this after the 5 days has ended. And so it's this thing about asking for what you truly, truly desire to have an experience in life. And I think that we're really good at asking for little things, like, oh God, I'm just going to pray to have this little thing or this thing that I need. But when it comes to asking for what we perceive as big and massive and outlandish and out there, and God forbid if it's a big desire in our heart, we actually have not so much of an easy time asking. And I just want to address this piece this morning before we go forward, because this is what I call the low hanging fruit. And let me back up and just talk about the basics of manifesting. I believe that if you're in this conversation, you all know all there is to know about the foundations of manifesting. You know the parts and pieces that make up how you manifest. But for the purpose of reminding us all, I'm just going to go over, this is what, when you want to manifest wealth with ease, these are the 4 things that are required. Number one, you have to know how to ask for whatever it is that you desire. And the context of this conversation is asking for wealth. I'm asking powerfully to manifest, to receive, to experience, to create in my life wealth with ease. Once we have asked, step number 2 is we have to know how to take inspired action. That's a whole other conversation that we're going to have some other time, because this is between asking and inspired action. These are the pieces that we get so confused about. Number 1, we don't understand how to ask powerfully, or we're not asking powerfully. Number 2, we think action is hard work action, and it so is not. So we want to define and understand and just really tap into this idea of, in order for me to have wealth with ease, inspired action is not working hard, right? So we want to understand what inspired action means. And then we've asked, we've taken inspired action. How we're going to manifest this wealth with ease is what happens next. This is the part that everyone gets their self tied in knots, because we're jumping in and we're trying to figure out the how. We are trying to coordinate and execute and do all the things that need to be done for our wealth with ease to come forth. And we are so tied up with figuring out how that we're just in our heads, and we're trying to do the hardest part of the entire equation, which is none of our business. Like, I love this. If you are if you are out there I'm looking at Facebook Messenger and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm looking at the chat and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But here's what I want you to do. If you are sitting there worried about the how, Tasha, this is my piece. This is where I get all confused. I get myself all tied up in a knot worrying about the how. Can you just type this? How is not my business. How is not my part. It's not at all. That part of the equation has nothing to do with me. And this is where I tell people, those of you that feel, talking about manifesting is going against God or going against your religion or Christianity. This is the part that is all God. Right here, the how is all God, universe, source, whatever language you want to use. All I can tell you is it's not your part. That the how it manifests is not up to you. And we're going to have a whole other conversation about the how some other day. So let's go to the next part, which is receiving. And again, this is where so many, especially those of us women, I just want to speak to you for a moment. We have a ways to go with receiving. We are great at asking for other people. We're great at doing for other people. We're great at giving. Oh my gosh, we are so great at giving. But when it comes to receiving, we have a ways to go. So that's going to be a whole other conversation. But for today, I just want to break down the 4 parts of what's required to create wealth with ease. Number 1, asking for it powerfully. Asking so powerfully, it has no choice but to come to you, to be yours. Number 2, taking inspired action. And number 3, it's going to happen somehow. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't really care how it's going to happen. I understand that worrying about how it's going to happen is futile, it's inefficient, it's exhausting. So I don't concern myself with how. I ask and I stay in inspired action, and then I'm open to receive. I just stay open to receive. Those are my parts of the formula. The piece in the middle, the how, not my part, right? Not your part. So I deserve love and wealth. That's right. Absolutely. Being a great receiver, the how is not my business. I love that you guys, everyone is getting it today. So I want to talk about asking specifically this morning, because every time we go through the experience of showing you how to create wealth with ease, one of the things that I realize, especially when we're having a conversation where people, this is where you now take that leap of faith and you jump in and enroll for our program. It's like, this is where all of the stuff that keeps you where you are shows up. And it's interesting to watch. And what I wish I could do so much in those conversations is what I'm going to do this morning. I'm going to talk about asking when it comes to having something you've never had before, or when it comes to experiencing something that you have such a burning desire for. What we try to do is we try to reach for the highest hanging fruit when there's this low hanging fruit right here. I used to have this analogy of my ackee tree in my backyard, and I would go outside and the top of the tree would be filled with fruit, and I would try to climb the tree. I would try to get a big long stick that I could get with a basket and a hook, and I would stand out there sweating, like killing myself trying to get to the fruit at the top of the tree. And then when I was exhausted and just sitting there taking a break, I would look at the bottom and there was all of this fruit. Literally, I didn't even need a stick. I could just pull them off like that. More than I could eat. I could give away. I didn't know what to do. There was so much like right here. But what do? We try to get the hardest thing to reach and get it into our lives. And that's what I want to have this conversation about. Jackie's like, I can't saltfish, yum. I just want to have this conversation about, do you really know how to ask powerfully so that you are resolving this easiest piece of manifesting, which is to ask? And I want to invite someone on who I invited her on to share one story. And as we were getting ready to talk about this, she started telling me other parts of the story that I didn't even know. So it's brand new to me and you, but I think it's really powerful to hear. Sometimes when we're talking about asking, we always think it's just God, you know? I'm going to talk about that. There are different levels of asking that I want to talk about today, but I want you to hear from this beautiful woman, Beth. So, Beth, join me on screen.
Hi,
Hello.
Asha.
Hello. I told her. And just so you know, see her beautiful red. So many people think purple is my favorite color. Red is actually my favorite color. So I was so happy to see Beth beautiful red this morning. So Beth, can you share a little bit about it's December 2021 and you make a powerful ask. Can you share with everyone?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me. Thank you for this beautiful service that you give to all of us. It
Oh,
has changed my life. In December 2021, I was listening to Clubhouse. There's someone who plays recordings overnight of either him reading from New Thought authors like Neville Goddard, or he plays their actual recordings. So I listened. I hadn't been in my manifestation practice or at all for many, many years, and that kind of brought me back to it. And I listened for a while, and then I thought I needed more. I actually asked God for a coach to help me make my manifesting consistent because I've been on this journey for almost 30 years. I have manifested many big things and I've lost many big things. And this
mhm.
time I wanted it to work for me. So I basically asked for Tasha. I was going through my list of people that I follow in Clubhouse and came to her name because I was unfollowing people and I saw her name. I said, I don't know her, but I like her bio, so I'll keep her. The next week, your room showed up in my hallway and I listened. And that's when I was like, okay, this is it. This is for me. So I listened to every Clubhouse replay. I took notes and I got hooked. And because you have to be careful with people on Clubhouse,
This is my
um,
favorite part of the story.
you have to be careful with who you deal with on Clubhouse. So I actually Googled Tasha Chin scam. And of course, nothing came up, but you can never be too sure. So after that, I said, okay, I did a deeper dive. I watched every YouTube video, every Facebook video. I took notes on everything to the point where by the time the program opened again, I said, this is for me, I'm in. So I had my call with Diane and I joined. And as soon as I hung up the phone, I thought, oh my God, what did I just do? And a little voice said, it's okay, you'll get it all back. Sure enough, 2 months later, about 2 months later, I got it all back plus some. It was a really nice lump sum of money that I received that
I
covered
love the
my
way she
cost
say
of
that.
the
It was a
program.
really nice, and she told me the number, and let me tell you, it was a really nice lump sum. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I asked for this. It was a total leap of faith. Mind you, I'm starting out again. I didn't know what was going to happen. I had to have faith in myself and faith in God. And through doing this program, both have increased substantially. My relationship with God has changed. I have conversations with God like I had not had for many, many years. Like we're pals, we're buddies. We talk every morning. I do a thank you rampage in the shower, just saying thank you for every little thing in my life, and it has really changed things. My life flows now. I journal every single day, and the things that I journal happen for me. I don't have to think about it. I journal things as mundane as getting perfect parking spaces and having no lines or waits at the post office. And I walk in and the post office is empty. It's amazing how things have changed for me. I journal big things too, of course, but things just happen. It flows. It's easy and relaxed and wonderful.
I want you to know that this woman that you're hearing, when I tell you she's talking about faith, she will say, you know, I don't have a job, I don't have a business right now, I have time. And she has invested not only her financial resources, but the time to get in this place of deepening her spiritual relationship, but really learning how to create this incredible life of her dreams and being in that environment with us. I mean, you know, the several months that we've been together and she's now gone on to the next level with us. The thing that I admire the most and why I asked Beth to come on this morning to share with you is I just watch her silent faith. I mean, she just literally she sits on the calls and I don't even see her taking notes. I joke about that all the time. She literally just sits and she just soaks it up, it seems like. I don't know if you watch the replays and then you take notes. What I do know is one of the things you'll hear people saying who have experienced massive success in the program is I just do what Tasha tells me to do. Right? And so I see her. I see her not in the doing, but in the being of this work. And you can tell the results. I mean, can you imagine living in a place? So many of you, you have a job, you have a business, you have all the things, right? And you're still worrying. And this woman is like, I don't even know, but you know what? People are sending me money from all over the place, like stuff's just coming, and I'm going to use this time to get really clear on what my next move will be. I want a business. I think that's your thing, right? I want a
Yeah.
business. I want it, but I want it to be easy and relaxed. I've worked,
Yes.
I've done the hard work.
Yes.
Um,
Can I just say, Tasha, shout out to the Clubhouse crew. Lisa, Denise Money Manifesting McKeezy, you are my hero. Everyone who shares on Clubhouse, they inspired me. When you said someone did say, just listen to Tasha and do what she says. It's so true. Tasha's voice is in my head in addition to mine at all times. At all times. Tasha said, I remember on Clubhouse, put a 0 on your dreams. I said, okay. So I don't think in terms of 50,000 or 500,000. I think in terms of 50 million.
that's right.
Those are the kinds of numbers that I'm looking to manifest. Your voice is in my head. I'm so appreciative to everyone who shares. This is a community. It's a community of love and sharing. People are vulnerable. It's a safe space for you to live out your dreams.
Oh my gosh, Beth, thank you. Like I can't do it with the makeup this morning and the crying. It's like wait, it's Monday morning at 8 a.m. Come on. I oh my gosh. On behalf of all of those women on Clubhouse, everyone who comes and cheers and inspires, thank you. Um, and they're absolutely right. And you're absolutely right. We joke about Tasha in my head, but hashtag Tasha in my head. But the truth is, like, we all need that voice that reminds us ask largely, ask bigger, go for it. Just you're going to get it anyway, right? So why ask small? I'm just grateful to you. Thank you for being on. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here and sharing how you asked and all the things that you've manifested. You all give Beth some love, give her some hearts. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
All right. So now I want to jump into what are some of the things that limit you when it comes to asking? If asking is the first part of manifesting, how are you doing with getting this part right? How are you doing with getting your asking to like not even a 10 out of 10, but like an 100 out of 10? Like, I want to perfect every part of this formula. I want to perfect the asking. I want to perfect the inspired action. I want to perfect receiving. But if the first part is asking, I want my ask to be like 100 out of 10. I want to know that when I did that first thing, I can set it and forget it. I can walk away. I can literally know I asked so powerfully that it is as good as done. Do you want that too? I think that if you know the first part is asking, everyone here wants to learn how to ask powerfully. When we are in our 120-day program, P.S., shout out to everyone who said yes last week, who said yes over the weekend. Today is the last day for the fast action bonus. I am so incredibly proud of you. One of the things that you are going to master, I am going to teach you how to do this. Like you hear everybody in my program saying how they journal. Literally, do you want to work hard or do you want to learn how to ask by just writing it down and knowing it's done? What I have learned in my journey is that there's a proven formula for everything. Everybody on YouTube will tell you, do this step, do this step, do this step, and that's great. But what I want to show you is the nuances, the way to take asking and how to do it with a proven successful formula that makes it so powerful that you can literally just write your life and go on about your business knowing it's done. Right? So, yes, and please congratulate everyone who has already joined. Like, type them congrats because their lives are going to change. And if you know them, you're going to watch this space. They're going to be back here 5 months from now telling you incredible things. 5 months, that's it. Before the year is over, before summer is over, their lives are going to change in ways that you will not recognize the women who are here today. I think that's incredible. It took me 10 years to do this. It's going to take them 4 months, right? So please go ahead and give them your congrats. Celebrate with them. That's what we do in this family. We really do celebrate each other. And so I just want to bring to your mind what might be some of the things that are getting in the way of you asking. For some people, you're thinking really small. You're asking small, you're thinking small, and you know it like it's not a judgment, it's not a bad thing. It's like Beth said, when she started, she was asking for smaller numbers. Now she heard me say add a zero, right? And so it's okay to write that, but what is behind Beth's conviction that when she writes these bigger numbers, she's in a totally different place than when she was writing the small numbers, right? So for many people, what I find is we're asking for just enough. Just like we're asking from this place of desperation. We're asking from, I need this. And that kind of ask, while I'm not saying, listen, our backs have not been against the wall sometimes, and we need those like on your knees ask. And there are times when those are really powerful, but I don't want to be asking like that all the time. In fact, I want that to be just once in a while. Like it's got to be really extreme for me to go there. But so many people, that is their constant ask. It is from this place of desperation and lack and need and low vibe. And if we know energetically that the energy that we're asking for is the energy that we will receive, you can see why people are not manifesting wealth, because we're asking from, please, I need just enough. I'm in such lack. And if what you're going to receive is going to be a match for that, right? Then it makes sense, logical sense to you why it hasn't been working so far. So that's one of the things I see people asking small. I see people asking from desperation, from need, from like just enough. I see people not asking for what they truly desire. It's like, I'm just going to be the good girl and I'm just going to ask for, I'm just going to ask for what seems right. I'm going to ask for what I think is right for me to ask for. So you know what? I'm just going to ask for a roof over my head instead of asking for a mansion, because that would be too greedy. That would be wrong. I would be judged. And so even though that's the thing, the desire that's in my heart, I'm not going to ask for it. I pushed one lady one time on a call. I'll never forget. We were in a coaching program and we were doing this, teaching them how to ask, right? And I'm saying, and I could tell she wasn't truly asking for what she wants. And the more I like supported her and just kept trying to get her to like, just ask for what you want, ask for it, finally. And I could see what was happening. She was battling like guilt and judgment, and like all this stuff was coming up and preventing her from asking for what she wanted. And finally she just broke and she was like, okay, I want to be a millionaire and I don't want to have to work. And I was like, finally, we got there. Now think about that. For so many people, there are so many things that would get in the way of getting to that place. And not everybody has to feel like that. Like me, for example, I ask myself all the time, if I won the mega lotto, would I still do this? And the answer is yes. And you might think of this as work, but this is my calling. This is my purpose. Like all the money in the world, and I'm still going to be here showing up for you, right? But for some people, they don't think of the thing that they do in that way. And they think they have to work to make money, and they really resent it and they hate it and they're angry, and that's fine. Well, then just ask for what you want. 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks goes by, and she posts in our group and messages me to say her attorney, she had been divorced for several years. Her attorney just called her and said, we found some stuff that your ex-husband had not been honest about, and you are entitled to basically the equivalent of 7 figures. Think about that. Do you think that would have happened had she not broken down and finally just acknowledged what she really wanted? That is the power of how this works. Remember, one of the days, I think on day 3, we talked about desires and deservingness and teaching you how to Allow yourself to be in a space where it's revealed to you, what do I really want? And then you say yes to it. And then here's the last one. When you're asking, you're not asking for yourself. And this is really one of the things where people use this power tool and they'll ask for everyone else in their life, but they never think to ask, what do I really want? Me. What do I honestly really want for just me? And in this 120 days that we're going to continue on this journey together, that's the number one thing I give you permission to do, is to ask for yourself. Because you know what? I spoke to a woman this weekend who was working two jobs, so that she could send money to her family overseas, so that she could take care of her kids in college, so that she could do everything for everybody else and not her. It never even occurred to her to ask for what she wants. What is she asking for? More work so she can make more money for more everybody else being taken care of. We've done this so well that we have covered up our own desires. We don't even know what we want anymore, especially us women. And so you can't ask powerfully. You can't, because I'm not telling you that when you ask for others, your prayers don't get answered. Of course they do. But I'm telling you, when you are coming from your own self-loving desire for yourself, like you just want it for you, that as a magnet is way more powerful than you asking for anybody else. And so my coaching to that woman was, you need to ask for yourself, because when you get it, when you ask for yourself and what you desire, and you ask for ease and you ask for wealth, it's going to overflow, and everybody that you are supporting is going to be helped too. And you're not going to have to work so hard. That's how this works. Okay. So what are the instructions that we got about asking? In the Bible, it says, ask and you shall receive. Those are the instructions. Ask and you shall receive. And so this, for me, my understanding of this is that when I learn to ask, that is the path to receiving. It says, you may ask for anything in my name, and it shall be given unto you. Christ said, you shall ask for anything, not just your little thing, not just to pay your rent this month, not just to get that investment to grow, not just, that there's enough in your savings, there's enough in your retirement. Why are we not asking anything? Anything, it says. No qualifications, no limitations, anything. So why are we not asking for wealth, and why are we not asking for wealth with ease? That's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to teach you how to do. The instructions are ask for anything. And it says, ask, and when you ask, believe that you've already received it and it will be done unto you. Ask and you shall receive. And when you ask, believe that it's already done. So these instructions are so simple. We know them. We all grew up hearing these verses, right? We know the words. We know the words. We understand what the words mean. But the next level is being in an environment where you are supported to embody them, to actually take the pages off of the words and put them into your life, and to strip away everything that gets in the way of you asking for anything. You know what I mean? You know these words. I knew these words for a long time, but I wouldn't ask for stuff because I was guilty. I felt sinful. I felt bad. I felt I didn't deserve it. I didn't know how to ask. I was kind of asking, but not believing, right? It's like I'm asking, I'm doing what it says, but I don't really believe. It says you have to believe. So these are things that I needed to grow. That's why it says the kingdom is within. We have to grow the inside power within us so that when we are asking, we have all the things that make us ask powerfully. And here's what I want you to, I love it. Here's what I want you to understand. This is something that we need guidance on. It's not, I wish it was easy. I wish it was natural. I wish our understanding of this concept was enough, but you know that you don't have the results that you want, or you don't have it in the time you want it or the ease you want it, because this is something that there's just stuff. We don't need to get into it. There's just stuff that's getting in your way. So could you use some guidance Could you use some support? Could you use some mentorship in learning how to ask powerfully? Yes or yes? Can you just like, yes or yes? Could you use some support in learning, Tasha, can you teach me how to ask powerfully? Like when I ask, heaven and earth move. The minds of people everywhere. Like I don't even have to say, do anything. Like people, stuff comes for me because I'm just asking with such power. Can you see how this thing is the beginning of the process, but we have to get it right? And it's not that when you ask and when you pray, your prayers are not answered. Of course they are. You've lived it every day. But do you want to be firing on all cylinders with this first piece? I know I do. I know I do. I invest in myself understanding this more than anything else because it says, ask and you shall receive. I want to ask with everything in me. I'm going to ask really well. I love it, right? So here are some tips for asking. I want you to just start to think about some of the things that you can ask for. You can ask for support. You can ask for clarity. You can ask that life be easy. Some people don't even, there are things you've never even thought you could ask for. You can ask for ease. You can ask for overflow and wealth. You can ask for extreme abundance. You can ask largely. You can ask for opportunities, massive opportunities to come your way. Not just, I want a client. That's great. But you know what? I want a massive inflow of clients. I want an influx. I want them to come all at once, not trickling in. What do we pray for? Dear God, please send me a client this week. Nope. Dear God, please send me an influx of clients. If you're going to pray and you're going to ask largely. So I want you to just start to think about, what are you not even thinking to ask for? Like ask yourself, what have I've never even thought about asking for those things, right? One of the things about being in an environment with other women who are asking largely, I realized when I saw what some women were asking for, I was like, wow, damn, Tasha, why are you not asking like that? What's up with that? What not, like, why aren't you even thinking to ask at that level? And then I have to really answer, it's my come to Tasha moment. I've got some stuff I got to work through, right? But being in an environment where you see in other women ask largely is one of the greatest inspirations. You heard Beth say, listening to the women on Clubhouse saying more, please, like, thank you for this and more, please. It's an incredible space to be in. So you want to do these three things. Ask often. Can you type? Number one, you want to ask often. Not just one time, not just when you need it, not every once in a while. I ask every single day, multiple times a day. You want to be asking often. For many of you, you have this thing going on that, like, it is just on a like desperate needed basis that you should ask. No, ask for anything, everything. Ask, it says, ask for anything in my name and it shall be given unto you. Number one, you want to be asking often. Number two, you want to really step into asking largely. You want to step up your ask, get out of little bit and just enough. And, like, I'm just asking small, I'm playing small. Ask largely. Practice asking largely and get yourself the support that will help you to do that. Number three, you want to ask and believe. You want to really step up when you ask, believing that it is already done. This is what mastering asking is all about. If I could tell you these three things, just think about that. How often do I ask? How largely do I ask? And when I ask, do I truly, with everything in my body, believe? Right? So you see how YouTube will tell you, oh, just ask. That's the first part of manifesting. Just ask. And you get your journal and you write your ask, little or big, you write it. But if it's small, if it's once in a while, if you don't believe it, then is that a weak ask or a strong ask? And so just this one piece of the formula, if I could teach you how to do that powerfully, it is going to change your life, and you are never going to stop doing it. That's why you hear all the people in my community that have done the courses there. This is the thing that is the return on investment that lasts them for the rest of their life. They never ever have to worry about how ever again, because they know how to ask powerfully, right? So this is our last call, as you know, today. Today is March 6th. Everyone who books a call and enrolls by today will get $1,000 off of the program, and you'll also get a VIP session with me. So I want you to type the word ask. Let me make sure I have that here. Type the word ask if you have not yet booked a call, or if you booked one and you didn't show up, or you already, got into your fears and you just want to have another conversation so we can figure out how you can do this, because the train leaves the station, right? We are closing the doors on March 17th. So the train leaves the station then. All we're saying is book your call, say yes by today so you can get the fast action bonuses. I know that this is going to be life-changing for you. The thing I've been excited about all weekend, I just keep thinking they don't even know what's going to happen to their lives yet. They don't even know how amazing it's going to be. They're thinking that this is an opportunity to get like this level of life change and wealth and all the things that's in your heart at this moment. And I know that this level is what's waiting for you, so much more than you even imagine in this moment, once I teach you how to ask powerfully. So go ahead, type the word ask, book your call, get in there, get it booked today. I've asked the team to open up more spots on our calendar so we can get as many of you in before the door closes and the train leaves. And you don't want to be standing at the train station going, oh my gosh, I missed my opportunity for this amazing life-changing experience, right? Give me 4 months, the next 4 months of your life, and I promise you, you won't even know who you are on the other side of it. It is going to be for screaming joy. So with that, you can also go to, I know some of you are watching maybe on Instagram or YouTube, you can also go to moneyandprofitmastery.com. That is the website that has all of the details of our program, and you can also book your call there. Moneyandprofitmastery.com is the website. Everything that you need, all the questions you have about the program, what's included, what are the bonuses, how many calls are there, is Tasha going to be there? Yes. How many times you have to show up? All the things that you want, questions that you have are on that website, moneyandprofitmastery.com, and it also allows you to book a call. I have 2 quick stories to share with you before you go about the importance of asking. So the last time that I opened up for a 4-month program or signature program was last August, I think, or last September. And there's a beautiful woman who joined, and she was in the program and messaged me and said, well, I know this, I actually, because she has been a part of our community for a while, I know a little bit about her story. And I know that one of the things that she realized was she had big money trauma stuff going on. She had a significant trauma that actually said, I will never allow money to put me in a place where it can be taken away from me ever again. Right? So that was her story. And because she had had something happen where literally her accounts were wiped out, all of her bank accounts were wiped out by someone she loved and trusted, she created this protection mechanism that said, I'm never going to have so much money ever again that somebody else could take it away from me and put me back in that place. Think about that. Now, this woman, the other thing you need to know about her is she is a superpower spiritually. So it happens to the best of us, not because you don't know all the things, you don't have all the, knowledge and the wisdom. You're not out there speaking this and teaching this. Doesn't mean that there's some part of you that still just needs some healing. It happens to the best of it. Happens to me, right? Like I'm out here teaching all about manifesting and showing people how to create millions of dollars. And then I was over here struggling in relationships. So we're just human. It happens to all of us. But this particular woman came into the program and that was her trauma. And we healed it. And after we had a conversation where she called the trauma out, she did the work, she did the healing. I'll never forget, I was leaving the gym when she private messaged me on Facebook and said, Tasha, I have been approached by a millionaire who says, I want to give you money for your organization. And she said to me, Tasha, how much should I ask for? And I said, well, before I answered, she said, Tasha, how much do you think I should ask for? What I'm thinking of asking is I'm thinking of saying to this man, this millionaire, I tell you what, you tell me how much money you can give me, and I will tell you what I can do with it. Do you see the limitation in the way she was going to ask? You tell me how much money you have. It's like, God, you tell me how much money you have, and I'll tell you what I can do with it. And God's like, no, you tell me what you want the money for, and I'll give it to you. And so I coached her through, no, you tell him, if I had $1 million, this is what I would do with it. And because she shifted in how she asked, the man offered her $100,000. Like literally within 2 weeks of healing this trauma. She messaged me over the weekend and said, Tasha, not only did he give me the $100,000, he's helping me. He has paid for my organization to be set up to receive large tax donations so that she's in Canada, so that the people that give her organization money can get receipts so it can be a tax write-off for them. And this man has access to lots of those people. Do you see how it can be easy? Do you see how we make it so hard? Do you see how when we're not asking powerfully, what can happen? And this is, I want you to see in this story that sometimes it's not just asking of God, right? There are human beings right here amongst us for us to practice asking powerfully with. And we limit ourselves by, it's as if I can only ask God. Well, God send us human beings to do this with too. Right? Another beautiful woman just this weekend. This blew my mind. We had a conversation and she wanted to join a program. Renee, I hope you're okay with me sharing this story. And she wanted to join the program so very much. And she said, I'm not sure how I'm going to find the funds to be able to pay for this. And I said to her, I just gave her like literally 30 seconds of coaching. And I said, you have an amazing list of people who obviously listen to you. She, by the way, I think she referred 50, almost 60 people to our program. This is how powerful and influential she is with her people. But she never thought to ask them for what she needs and what would allow her to receive wealth for herself. She was great at asking them to take the action that would benefit me, Tasha, right? She was great at asking them, come join this challenge and da da da. And ultimately, I'm the one that benefited. I got all of these amazing people that she knows joining my program. How many times are you so great at asking people to do things that's to the benefit of someone else? And I am grateful. I'm humbled. I'm so grateful. But what I wanted her to see was when it came to asking for her, it never occurred to her to go and use that influence on her people for herself. And she did. She did. She was like, you're right. And she messaged me, and I just was like, I have no words, because literally within 24 hours, she put out a program that has been on her heart for 2 years. She's had this desire to offer this program for healing and been in her heart for 2 years, done nothing. And just with this ask, she had people enrolling, people signing up for bigger programs, like all of this stuff happened 24 hours later. Why? Because she asked. This is the power of asking. This is what we want to learn how to do really well. I am besides myself to show you how to do this. I really am. I cannot wait to show you how this piece makes wealth easy. This is the part, learning how to ask powerfully. When you hear me say wealth with ease, it's this. Learning how to ask powerfully is the access to experiencing wealth with ease. With that, and with that, I love it. All of the chats. I've seen all the chat over here on Facebook. I just want to wish you a wonderful Monday. I'm so excited for those of you that are going to say yes before the doors close. Join us on our 120-day Money and Profit Mastery program. Let's do this thing. Let's create the largest community of multi-millionaire women right here. Your name has multi-millions on it. I want to get a little ruby in my crown because I got to show you the way to it. So take the action, say yes. I cannot wait to continue to serve you. Mwah. Have a great Monday, everyone. Bye.